beautiful fall morning, what better way to spend it than exploring the mysteries of aviation? We're on our way to Evergreen Aviation Museum in McMinnville, Oregon, to look at the one and only spruce goose. Before we get there, I think a little bit of information is necessary. So, in the spirit of the aviation training video industry, I give you the most current and complete, up-to-date information on the spruce goose.
The huge hull for the world's biggest aircraft leaves its hangar at Culver City, California, and begins a 24-mile overland journey to Long Beach. One wing alone has greater span than a super fortress, and when completed, the huge aerial behemoth will be powered by 8 3,000-horsepower engines. En route to special graving docks, linemen clip wires and shift poles to provide clearance for the huge seaplane. The mammoth hull will rest in this graving dock while the plane is being assembled. As yet unnamed, the craft will cost an estimated $20 million. Designed as a cargo carrier, it could be adapted to carry 700 persons. Howard Hughes designed the winged colossus, which opens new horizons in man's conquest of the skies.
We're here at the Evergreen Aviation Museum, home of the spruce goose. And I've got Bill Donnelly here, the Aviation Museum's raving expert on the spruce goose.
We could discuss that in depth if we want to.
I've been here for a while. I haven't seen the spruce goose yet.
Well,
you know,
it's kind of like you can't see the forest for the trees, but if you just sort of look up over your head, you're going to be standing underneath the tail of the spruce goose.
Oh. The spruce goose was over 218 feet long, a height of over 79 feet, and its wingspan was 319 feet, making it the largest aircraft built to date. And just for comparison purposes, that's a DC-3 hiding under its wing.
So here we are at the rear of the flight deck, and we go back to the bulkhead that's solid wood, and through the access panel. Follow me. On second thought, why don't you just go in? So in here, it's all wood construction, and this is the point where the two wings join. 51 1-inch bolts were put in there to hold it together.
We're here up at the leading edge of the wing. You can see there's a walkway going all the way down the leading edge here. And in flight, there would actually be 2 mechanics stationed at each engine. You can see where the metal support structure for each engine is. Due to insurance, we aren't allowed to go down in the wings right now, but you can walk down quite a ways past all 4 engines.
Now the interesting thing too is if you'll notice the positioning of the engine in relationship to the wing, it protrudes considerably further off the wing than most radial engine mounts, like the DC-3s, the B-17s. They're all more or less integrated into the wing of the aircraft. Pratt & Whitney with 3,000 horsepower producing tremendous amount of heat and flame out of those exhaust pipes. You don't want that up against a wooden wing. It's not advisable at all.
This cutaway of the forward fuselage shows the 13 layers of birch that made up the aircraft's skin. It was held in place with nails while the wood cured. You can see the different layers of birch with their opposing grain structure here, and wooden cleats. All of this was made with Duramold technology.
So you want to know what Duramold is? Oh, I know you do. Duramold is a process that Howard Hughes purchased a patent to just prior to construction on the spruce goose. What it is a way of forming and enhancing basic woods in ways that up until then were not even imagined. Basically what happened is a part would be steamed, molded, and then glued down. They would use a resin that would sit in the mold and put the entire mold under compression. Much like we're doing now, except to way more intense levels. After it was molded, you'd find that the part would have even more desirable characteristics such as strength.
We're here, and we're about to recreate Howard Hughes' first flight. And there you have it.
So here we are at the front of the Spruce Goose. As you can see, it's really smooth. Originally, that aerodynamic smoothness came from the Japanese tissue paper that they would overlay and then paint. When they brought it up to Oregon, it was sanded down and repainted to bring back the original gray. However, in modern aircraft, we do not do that because it ruins our ability to inspect the wood grain direction and check for decay.
The Spruce Goose still has all 8 engines installed, and with the wood construction, the Evergreen Aviation Museum was concerned about the integrity of the wood and whether or not it would hold up, being that it was built over 60 years ago. So periodically, they measure from the bottom of this float down to the floor. What they found is that it's at 91 inches off the ground, and they've never had it change more than half an inch. And they found in the summer months, when the wood dries and contracts slightly, it'll raise up from the floor, and then in the winter months, when there's more moisture, the wood expands ever so slightly and gets closer to the floor. But for the most part, for a 60-year-old aircraft, there's been no change in the strength of the wood over the years. Thanks for joining us on our tour of the Spruce Goose.
We've explored from wingtip and from nose to tail, and we've learned so much about the wooden components. Thank you again for joining us. Please enjoy these fun facts.